Hi everyone, this is EstaRa with a message for you today. Today is Monday, August 21st, 2017. We are in a new moon and a solar eclipse energy, and I'm just like waking up and I'm being guided to like bring a message to all of you now, which is completely appropriate because it is the solar eclipse day and it feels like a new beginning and a reset of energy. So when I was lying in bed, I was kind of downloading information into me and feeling changes moving, actually. I don't know if you've been feeling it, but it's been intensifying over the last several days, and we're going to be in this for a little while. So I got really clear guidance about today's eclipse in terms of how best to utilize that couple, I think it's like 2-hour period. I think it lasts about 2 hours, where we're in the shadow or in the darkness when the eclipse is going to be here. And so what I've gotten was to actually use it in a way that most of us don't think of doing it. Like, it's okay if you view it, make sure you're wearing protective things or make your own out of a shoebox, because I looked up online today how to make one on a shoebox. That's my plan. I feel like one of our things that we've been through so much in the last several months. There's so much has happened. In the last several years, to be quite honest, so much has transpired. But at the last several months particularly, we have lived a lifetime. At least that's what it feels like to me. I don't know about you, but I feel like some days I feel like, even right at this moment, I'm thinking about yesterday. It feels like it was a week ago or longer, and it was just yesterday. So the way we're in this time, we're in this transitional energy of timelines, right? We're in that space and we're getting ready to really reset back into alignment of our soul's journey, our soul's path. We have this opportunity and we're able to do that now. So when I tune in and I ask my guides, like, what is the best thing that we can do? What do you suggest that we do on this day? And they're telling me it's really about reflection and using that shadow time, that dark time, if you will, to step away from ego, step away from, if it's possible, and I know some of you are working a 9-to-5 job and you don't have that ability or capability, but if you do, and even if you don't, during that time where it's going to be the fullest, and you can go to websites and look to find out when the eclipse is going to be at full. When that happens, you can actually look on your time and make a point to like go somewhere and be quiet for 5 minutes. Even if you're working, it could be a bathroom break. And yeah, about 5 minutes for a bathroom break seems long, but it's not. I feel like just go into that quiet and just receive during that time. It's so important. So if you are available during that time and you can make your time available and you can clear your schedule to keep that chunk of time open, my suggestion is to really turn off technology as much as you can. Stay away from the big groups of people. If you can, pull away. You're welcome to look at the sun for a moment, but I wouldn't spend your whole time looking at the sun. Instead, I'd spend your time in reflection. And so my guides say, turn everything off, get quiet, really tune in, because what's going to be appearing to you and showing itself to you is anything that you are still holding on to egoically, whether it is your own belief systems about money, whether it is your own belief systems about relationship, whether it is your own belief systems about how and when and where your twin flames should be and what should happen with them. Because we have been distracted, busy, overwhelmed. So during all this clearing and purging that's happening, many of us are feeling it, right? We're experiencing it. It comes, it goes, it comes, it goes. And we haven't really been in the reflective state. And so what I'm being guided is that as the stuff is surfacing for you today, recognize without judgment as best as you can. Find compassion and gentleness for yourself, as I mentioned last week about your divine beloved. Find that for yourself today and allow whatever lingering fears or beliefs that are surfacing for you with regard to perceptions, experiences. It's going to be shown to you And it's not going to be like, here is a tablet of paper and we're showing you. This is exactly what it is. It's coming to you in signs, messages, images, feelings, thoughts. And you probably had some recognition over the last several days. I'm hearing the last 4 or 5 days. You might have had stuff come in and you recognized, oh yeah, I need to be a little different about that. I need to handle this a little differently. I need to be in this space. But it's like a flicker. That's how it came through. But now, today, you're having that moment where it will come clearer to you. Recognize that and allow that energy just to kind of wash over you and recognize it's going away. And see it as, this is the learning experience to get you to the next point. This is what this was. So these beliefs, these perceptions, these patterns that are being shown to you are actually learning experiences that you don't need anymore, that you need to be done with, right? And if you feel like, well, I kind of want to hold on to that. I want to hold on to what it was like with my twin, what it was like when he was here or she was here. If you want to do that, then you need to look at that a little deeper to find out what the message is that you are perhaps afraid to let go of. What are you afraid is going to happen? Because here's the thing that I am going to tell you that, and not everybody says all the time, they should say this, but they don't. My belief about the twin flame journey, and from what I've experienced in my path, and I've been on it for quite some time, is if you are a twin flame, you know this inherently. No one can tell that to you for you. However, you can ask for affirmation and confirmation, and you will get that over and over and over again. I promise you this. You will get it over and over and over again until you finally say, okay, I give up. I believe you. I trust. And I say that to you because in the first, 6 years of my journey, 5 years of my journey, I had doubts. I was like, how could this be? How could he be my twin? Like, if he were my twin, how come he doesn't see the love? Like, how does he not want to just drop everything he's doing and just run and be with me? And here's the thing, he does, and he did, and he wanted to, but he couldn't do it because of his own patterns, his own fears, his own blocks. And, but I didn't understand that then because I was in the midst of it, in the spiral of hell, in the ick, and I didn't recognize that. But I kept asking until finally my last, it was so funny. I'm like, is he really my twin? And I would always get confirmation. Actually, I would be with a friend and she herself is a twin flame, and she and I would be out together and I would say, this is what I want. I want indisputable proof that he is my twin. And this is what I want to happen. And if this happens, then I know. And I have to tell you that day, I'll never forget, I put my true belief, heart, no doubts, no fears, into the fact that my guides and angels would show me exactly what I needed and wanted. If he wasn't, they're going to show that to me too. And believe me, I had a little bit of fear that they were going to show me like, no, he's not. And I remember that day, it was like 9 o'clock in the morning. We spent the day together. My friend and I just did a whole bunch of things together for the day. And our plan was to like just do girlfriend's day out. And the very first thing we were driving, and there was a big billboard that says, see our signs. Now, granted, the billboard was for them to like see their signs, so you can actually do that. But come on, I looked up, I never look at billboards. All of a sudden I look up, it says, see our signs. The entire day I had signs, and I still doubted. I still freaking doubted. So that evening, I said, but that's not clear and disputable. The signs that you're giving me, I've seen them. I've been there, done that. That's not sufficient. And I'll never forget this. I said, I need like a really clear and disputable sign that like when we speak, he's not going to lie to me. He's going to tell me a truth that he's not told me. And he's not going to hesitate. Wow, the most amazing thing happened. As soon as my friend just said, wow, it's 9 o'clock, nothing's happened. I said, they have until midnight. I told them they had till midnight. They have until midnight. At 9:02, my phone rang and it was my twin. And I asked him a question. He answered me honestly. I knew the answer already, but I wasn't sure if he'd give me the answer. He gave me the answer. And he was really loving about it. And I was like, wow. I said, well, thank you. I appreciate that. I go, I can't really talk to you because I'm out, but when I get back, I'll give you a call. And because he could hear the noise in the background. We were in a restaurant. And I hung up the phone with him. I went back and I said to my friend, I'm like, I want to go home and talk to him in a half hour. I told him I'd be done in about a half hour. And she's like, that's fine. But what was amazing, I'm like, I need to share this with you because I felt so excited and ecstatic because I got my clear and disputable sign. Now, yet, sharing this with you because I got it. It was like, that was the clearest freaking sign I could have ever asked for. And yet, guess what? I held on to it because it felt really good. And then he went and did something that made me feel sad. And made me feel like, oh my God, it's never going to happen. This can't be him, because if it was really him, he would just show up and just run to me like he wants, like he tells me he wants to do. He would just do it. And I'm getting a little emotional because I feel that. And I remember very clearly. We interacted a couple more times, and he said goodbye forever. His normal thing that he did for a while back there. It was an old pattern. Thank God that's gone. And I remember going to Egypt, and I said, okay, I really need my team, my healing team, my angels, my guides, my loved ones, anyone who's here, and the beautiful gods and goddesses from Egypt. I am in ancient Egypt. I am here on a spiritual journey, and I am going to ask you for clear, indisputable signs. I promise, if you give them to me, I will never, ever ask again. If he is my twin, then I will never doubt again. And I have to tell you that I got the clearest answers you can ever imagine. And I'm not going to go into the whole story of that right now, because that will take a while, of what exactly happened on that day. But I got it so clear that I've never doubted again, and I never feared that he loved me. I never feared that he was my twin, and I trusted that. And so that was in 2011. It's now 6 years later. He's not currently physically next to me. He's energetically next to me. And physically, he shall be here. But the reason I'm telling you that is because that doubting is actually part of the journey. That is part of this process. And so I tell you this because a lot of you have come to me with doubts and like, I don't know, is he my twin? And my response has always been the same. My guides can't tell me whether or not you are twins or whether you are or you aren't. So I don't actually give that information. What I give you is that on this journey, it's about trusting. It's about trusting our own inside, our own truth. And you know, that's for all humanity, to be quite honest. And I wanted this video to be short. Apparently it's not going to be. I wanted the trusting what's inside of us is actually an awakening for all of humanity. It's particularly stronger for twin flames because we're being asked to trust what we don't see. We're being asked to trust that this beloved is truly who we think they are. We're asked to trust that what we know inside of us is the truth beyond external circumstances, beyond what we see in front of us. We are asked to do that. And in such a way that a lot of us have pulled away from other relationships. Now, I say that to you, but when I say that, it's almost like, for me particularly, I don't feel that I pulled away. I feel like I've been pushed away from other relationships. I feel that when you know, and it's hard to like just pretend you don't know anymore. You know, it's like that, you can't go back. So inside of you, you need to come to that trust as a twin flame. If you're having the doubts and the fears, recognize you're having the doubts and the fears, because you need to believe with all part of you, every cell in your body, that this person is the person. But you can't just believe it because you want it to be. You have to believe it because you know it inside of you. It's like a truth that is above everything else. And I can tell you that I knew that inside of me when I met him. I knew that when we started speaking. I felt it the first conversation I ever had with him on the phone. And yet, I doubted and doubted and doubted. And the reason I doubted was because external circumstances showed me everything but. And that was painful and that was hard, and that is part of this journey. So recognize that part of this journey. I'm telling you this today for a reason, because you have the opportunity to actually look truly at you to see if this path is the path that you're on because it's the path that you're meant to be on, or if this path is the path you're on because you're striving to reach something that's not the path you're meant to be on. I know a lot of people aren't going to like that, I'm sure. But it is not a path for the faint-hearted, as my guides have often said to me throughout this journey. They have informed me that there are far fewer twin flames than many would like to believe, because not everyone is a twin flame that is on the planet. And they also inform me that our knowing at this time needs to reach stronger than not knowing, and stronger than the doubts that are rising. So going in is where the answers will be. All of humanity is waking up to what's inside of them and knowing that that's more truth than what they're seeing out here. And that's beginning to happen, not in a vast way that I would love to see it show up. It is happening, though, individually for everyone. And that knowing, we've been taught on this planet, we've been suppressed, and it's not just because of the current powers that be, as many people would like to think, but it's through years of religion. The old powers that be that are still kind of in control because they've descended. They stopped us from knowing who we were to control us by what's external. And they stopped us from knowing who we were because if we knew who we were, we'd be extremely powerful and create. But that is part of being a human on the earth, is that we are meant to actually come not knowing and not remembering everything and reigniting that part of us so that we evolve. And because we're evolving, we're actually helping the new beings that are coming to the planet, reminding them and bringing them into that reality and that knowing. And it's bringing us into this new consciousness of creation that we are. And so it's bringing us into this new consciousness that we are creators, that we are all powerful inside of us, that we don't need external means to teach us that we are powerful, amazing beings that can create, and that we are multidimensional beings that can travel throughout the stars. We don't need external stuff to show us that. However, at this time, we're still in that place of learning and growing and evolving. And so that's why it's imperative that we find teachers and we allow teachers to come in at the times that they're coming in to show us something different. We might not all resonate with everything. And when I teach my classes to my students, I tell everybody, you're here today, be open-minded and experience this class with me. If I don't resonate with you, that's okay. But I ask you to be open while you're here with me now. If I resonate with you, by all means, come to me, help me, let me help you. If I don't resonate with you, come to me, let me help you. I'll guide you somewhere else if I could. And that is how teachers should be and what it needs to be, because it's not about money. It's not about who's more powerful than the other, who's right and who's wrong. It's about who resonates with who, because our soul groups are being called into play. We're actually accessing all of that energy. So I know I'm kind of going in different tangents, but so much energy is coming through me right now. And I want to bring it back to the twin flames. But I first want to say, so as humanity is opening and awakening, they're learning there's something more inside of them. And they're being shown what's icky outside, because the only sanctuary during these times of ickiness and chaos in the world is to go inside and within. And that means pulling away from what's happening and just being present with ourselves, right? So today is a particularly strong day, and my guides encourage that while it's shadow and dark during the eclipse, let yourself come in, pull away from humanity, pull away from the chaos and craziness, pull away from every electronic you have. Now, I know that's frightening and scary. You can set a timer on your phone or you're somewhere in your house or wherever you are to like come back into reality, into human physical reality. But I encourage you, just as my guides do, to travel the galaxies, travel the stars, and travel through you. Go inward and travel through your being, through your ego, through your heart, through your mind. See what is being shown to you. And then as the eclipse continues, at the end, towards the end, as it's moving away, imagine, if you will, that as it's moving away, a curtain is being pulled back and showing you a new day, and showing you a new beginning and a reset to the life that you're living. And when I say a reset to the life that you're living, we're still in a physical reality, right? But if you allow the energy to come through you the way that it's coming, then what happens is you're allowing all this energy to come in, realign you, and help you go forward into a new day. And one of the things that I want you to say before you go to bed tonight is, I welcome a new day tomorrow. I feel like that is key to moving forward. I welcome a new day tomorrow, because tomorrow is a new day. And honestly, everything is possible. Even though we get scared, everything is possible. And I want to come back and spin it all back around to the twin flames. Please, if you're having doubts, start looking at where they're coming from, because it's not just about your twin. It's perhaps doubts about your life, doubts about who you are, doubts that you're capable, doubts of something, an unworthiness thing. There's lots of reasons for doubts. So look into that. See where you are on that journey of doubting. See where you are in this union, this relationship, this energy, because it's so important that you look further in and find out what's going on inside of you. And then at the end of this eclipse, come together with someone else, others, if you could, in meditation. If you're not physically able to join other people, just join wherever they are doing meditations. I am holding one this evening. It's going to begin about 6 p.m., so technically we won't start till like 6:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is New York time. If you are from a distance and you want to be part of that meditation, I'm going to welcome anybody who wants to join us tonight. I have a group coming together on the beach local to me, and holding space as my angels asked me to do. My guides are like, this is what needs to happen, and I don't really know what's going to come of that, and I'm hoping that I can have someone record if I do actually channel, so that I could put that out for all of you to hear. I feel like we are in such a transformative state that anything is possible. You can let go of anything that's been holding you back, but so too can your beloved. And your beloved can do that when you give them permission to. And what I mean by that is, give yourself permission to let go of whatever it is that's holding you back, and whatever you're revealing to yourself today, because you're going to reveal. And whatever is being revealed to you in terms of how you're seeing the union, how you're seeing the relationship, what your expectations are of this union and this relationship. Because we're not just to come together in this romantic love. And boy, we are too. That's supposed to happen. God, it's supposed to happen. The passion. I'm so excited about that. But that's not the only reason we're here. Like, we're here to be of service to humanity. We're here to come together so we go home together, right? We're coming home to one another. But we're also here to be of service to humanity. We would not be incarnated at this time if our job was just to come together and make love. No, we're here to emanate love. We're here to emanate light. We're here to emanate peace. We're here to bring and anchor that here. And each one of us is going to be called into action, into our mission. And that's what's happening. If you're noticing, like, you're getting pulled and you're hearing things and you're getting torn, like, do I do this? But my money's here. Do I go there? Go, by all means, go. Let everything be provided for you. It will be. And I'm not saying that, you're all, you have all the details just yet. I know I had several people contact me like, I don't know what to do yet. And my words of wisdom are, it's okay. You don't need to know the details. But what you do need to know is what you want. And you do need to know where you're headed, right? So if you think, I'm headed in alignment to my soul, and I'm going to live that way, then you are just opening the path for that information to start flooding through. And I want to tell you, the next several weeks, that information is going to flood through. The steps and how to do it are going to start coming into you if you allow and you don't get caught up in the fear. I can tell you that there's been so much transpiring in terms of healing and cleansing on this planet. I've never had more people contact me in crisis and fear. And I said to many of them, really raise your frequency, find Light Tribe, come together and meditate every day, find time every day. But I understand it. I'm not experiencing that extreme fear. I'm feeling emotions once in a while, but I'm not feeling the extreme stuff anymore. It's not as strong as it used to be. And I mean that. Like, when I say that to you, I see people really struggling right now, and I feel removed from that, in the sense of I'm not in that space. But what I can tell you is I'm recognizing the fears I'm having, and I'm recognizing what I can possibly do and what may need to happen for me to push through it. I'll give you a very simple example. One of the examples I have is that I'm getting guided where I'm going next, what's next to happen, where I'm supposed to move to, how it's going to happen, all that stuff, the geographic stuff, which I've mentioned before. But I have a physical body problem. I've had a really bad back. My whole spine has been affected from several traumas I've had over the years, so it's not like a brand new thing. But I was great until this last car accident. And typically before this car accident, I could walk and heal anything. Like every time my back hurt, I would just start walking more and I would be okay. I would do yoga, I'd be okay. This time I haven't recovered that way. And the old tools that I used aren't working. Even some of the new tools I'm using are not working. And just in case anybody wonders, I've done everything you can imagine, every alternative thing that I could in my grasp attain. And I've done a lot of the physical stuff from doctors, but I've also had limitations in terms of doctors. I've not had the best insurance, and I didn't have health insurance when I had the car accident, so that was a struggle for several months before I could get health insurance. And that has been a fear for me, and I'm recognizing today that's one of the things I need to look at and really release and trust that if something is supposed to happen in the physical to help me with this issue, it's going to show up. So that's what I know I'll be working on as one of my things today. Because here's what's interesting. While that may not, to you, it may not sound like an interference with me and my twin, but it absolutely is an interference with me and my twin. And it is in the sense that I feel sad about it. I don't feel good about my body. And it's not that I don't love my body. I absolutely do. And I talk to it every day. I ask what it needs, what it wants, and how it wants to go forward. But it's almost a shame I carry, I guess. And I need to look at that. A shame that I'm carrying with my spine because it's stopping me from doing a lot of the things that everybody takes for granted and that I used to take for granted. I mean, I was a hiker and rock climber and avid walker, and I've not done any of that in years now. And I'm sorry, I'm getting emotional about that. Because that is my issue. That is my emotion. And that's what I need to work on today. And that's where my focus, I hope, will be. And I hope I don't distract myself and I don't allow humanity to interfere with that because there's a lot of human stuff happening today. I feel like that's really important for you to look at. And I'm using that. I'm sharing my personal story with you, my personal example. But there's stuff like that you might be carrying. And a lot of you look towards your twin and say, well, they're not ready, they're not this, they're not that, or, I'm completely ready, but, why isn't he calling me or she calling me? I want you to look inside of you. This is an opportunity. This solar eclipse is an opportunity for you to see it and reset your beliefs, your patterns, and your life forward. Reset your path. Realign you with your truth, because one of the things that I hear a lot is a lot of my clients will focus on their twin, and they'll be communicating with them etherically, and their twin will give them all this kind of information about how they love them and they're going to be here, but then here it is like months later and they're still not there. And so I often tell them, step away from that part of them, because they're giving you what their soul is telling you, but it needs to align with their human self, and it hasn't yet. So align yourself with what you need to do. So I encourage you to look inside today and use this solar eclipse for it. And one of the things that I wanted to do was pull some cards for you. So I'm going to do that anyway, because I just want to see if Spirit gives us what messages Spirit has for today. And once you do recognize what is going on with you, release it. Open your heart. Open your heart to this new journey and ask for what it is you want help with. So after the eclipse is over, during meditation this evening, let that be one of the things that you create, not just for you. Because here's the thing, again, we're of service to the planet, not just for you, but for the community you're in, for the country you're in, the planet you're upon, even the planet you're from. What do you visualize for that? That's important. And one last thing I want to bring back up about the meditation thing. So tonight, we will be in meditation around 6:15 we'll probably start meditating. Eastern Standard Time. That's New York time for all those of you who are elsewhere and you aren't able to attend a meditation. If you're able to connect with us, all I ask you to do, my guides are saying, simply intend to be part of our circle and intend for the best and highest good that you receive the divine light. Quite often when I do meditations or do classes of any sort, really, I do a lot of light language blessings and channelings and stuff. So if you intend to be there, you are going to receive. And whether you're consciously receiving it or not is another story. But you will intend you'll intend it and you'll receive what's there. And because my intention will be to welcome everybody who can't be here but wants to be. So sending that love to you that way. So let me just do some cards. So I'm using the Dorian Virtue Saints and Angels Oracle deck. This is what I was guided to pull before I started, and I'm being pulled to 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I just turn them over. It is exactly what I just shared with you. Oh my God, I love it. Okay, so the first card is look deeper. Now that, again, that's that looking into what is going on with you. Let's use my example. I'm going to look deeper into my spine. What is my spine holding that it's afraid to let go of? Obviously, it's a support thing, right? So what am I afraid of there? And I need to look deeper into the levels of what is going on with the neck, because I have issues in my neck. I have issues in my mid-back. I have issues in my lower back. I have issues all the way to the tailbone. So literally from my head down, and it's amazing. The base of my skull all the way down to my tailbone, I've had issues. So I need to look deeper into that. So I'm using my example so that helps you. But you're going to look deeper into your issue. No judgments at what you see or find. Acceptance and love. Acceptance and love is what I say to you. And their message to you is learning experience. Learn from this. Recognize this is what I'm doing, and how do I change this? How do I change this? And how can I make it better? So I'm going to look into my spine and say, what do you need from me? How can I learn from this? And what are you going to teach me? And what will I receive from that? And that will be me talking to my body. Okay. And then the final, it's like exactly what I said pretty much. Pray. This beautiful card. I love this card, by the way. I'm going to show that to you a little closer. It's these beautiful little cherubs praying. When I look at this card, what comes to me is just what they said. Pray a new day. Pray there's a new day. And pray for the reset. Pray that everything that you need is provided for. Everything that you need is bringing you into alignment. Pray that everything that you need is bringing you into alignment to your twin. And that your twin is coming into his alignment, her alignment. And begin your evening tonight when you go to bed. I welcome a new day tomorrow. And I gave you some tidbits earlier. I also blogged stuff. Please check out my blog if you haven't, because there's so much information. And the most recent one is Twinflame related. There's tons of Twinflame stuff in there. But I encourage you to read at least the first few blog posts, because they are current. You know, I would say, actually, to be honest with you, the last 4 I think I wrote are very pertinent to what's happening this month and now. I'll probably be writing again, I'm sure. I don't know when. But I wish you all blessings and love, and I honor each one of you on your journey and your path. And I don't know where that takes you, each of you, but I'm blessed to know that you're here with me, and I'm blessed to say to you that I trust that we're all where we are meant to be, and we are all coming into union. Oh, the last thing I wanted to wrap up all that stuff. So if you know that inside of you, if you've met your twin flame, and you know that inside of you, this is my twin flame, and you feel it with every ounce of your being, there's absolutely nothing that's going to stop you from being in union. You will be in union. The timing, I don't know. I don't know how that all works, because I'm still learning that myself. But you don't meet your twin and not come into union. I can't even tell you. I've had people say to me, well, you know, sometimes you're just not meant to be with your twin flame in this life. I absolutely disagree with that. If you've met them, you know them, you've aligned to them, you are absolutely meant to be with them. What would be the purpose of meeting them? And I've had people say to me, well, because you just get the energy from them and then you go forward. No. if we're meant to be in divine partnership, and if we met our divine partner, then we're meant to be in divine partnership. We don't have to be apart. We're not meant to be apart. We're meant to be in union. And so my wish to you today is to know that if you know your twin flame and you know this with every ounce of your being and you trust it with every ounce of your being, it's going to happen. There's nothing that will stop it. So trust where they are, trust where you are. And I know it's really hard when I say that, trusting you and trusting them, but I don't want that to be hard. It needs to be easy and smooth. And that's actually what I'm praying for, is a smooth and easy transition into this new alignment, this new day. And this reset is going to be smooth and easy for all of us. And our union will come together much easier and much smoother than we ever imagined. And we have to visualize that and imagine it being possible. So use this evening to do that. I wish you all well. Namaste, everyone. So much love to you on this journey. I love you all, and I have immense love for all of you, and I carry immense joy in knowing that we're all going to reunite, and it's going to happen, and it's going to be magnificent. So blessings and namaste.